You can have whatever you like. Oh, shit, we're live. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
And this just came in the news. T.I., the rapper, and Tiny are now accused of drugging and assaulting multiple women. Of all the songs, I would start. Anyway, also in the wire, Charles Grodin is dead. I'm just about to reenact the whole movie Beethoven. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Also, I don't want to scare you, but Paul Mooney as well. Yeah. But it's in threes, so we're good for like a week, I think.
All right, good.
Yeah.
It started off pretty heavy. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is a skilled actor, skilled comedian. You're gonna love her. She was on the Kominsky method. She's Mindy Kominsky, for God's sakes, Michael Douglas's daughter. Big Little Lies, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Bob's Burgers. You know what else? His favorite, Grace and Frankie. Here she is, Sarah Baker.
Hello.
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 Thank you for having me, you guys.
Thanks
people.
for being here.
You're not supposed to say guys anymore.
I know.
I'm messing this up already really badly.
That's a tough one to give up, right? I noticed for me saying you guys, and I'm like, it maybe because I'm misgendering, that's a positive, because who cares? You're all guys, right? Because we're all everybody.
No, I think you're supposed to say folks.
Folks is a good one.
I've switched to folks. I did this fairly recently. Ken just told me more than once. I say ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying not to, but man, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's also things you can say to your friends. Like, I have friends that I call girl, or we're like, hey, lady,
right.
Which that's fine. But then you have to take it out. It's like when your mom raises you, like not to burp loudly, because then you'll be in a restaurant and forget that you can't do it there. It's the same thing.
Do me a favor, Ken, to tell her how much you love Grace and Frankie.
No, this is like almost insulting. Sarah, you've been in huge roles, and you are an incredible actor, incredible comedic actor too, which I think is very hard. And I'm remembering your one or two lines on Grace and Frankie because I'm such a big fan of that show and you. And I even pretty much have it memorized. If something's wrong, just move your fork over to the left.
That's hilarious because I feel like I've seen it once, but not insulted at all. Come on. But also, geez Louise, those two women and Sam Elliott, 75-year-old dreamboat. Sam Elliott was there on the day I was there.
Yeah. And you're right there with them.
Yes.
Is that nerve-wracking?
Oh, totally. I feel like just not being a famous person, I've been around a lot of famous people through work, and you kind of just have to put yourself in the mindset of look, I'm in this scene with them. I can't just be looking at them, you have to participate. But that one was fun because of course I love Jane Fonda, but I have since I was a kid, I have loved Lily Tomlin, and I didn't have a scene with her or anything. But when I went for the fitting, she was getting fitted at the same time it was either right before the Emmys or the Oscars. And I think she and Jane were presenting, and she was getting, or maybe they were nominated. Anyway, she was getting fitted for a tuxedo because of course she's the coolest. And I could hear her voice just a room over. And I was dawdling so much, getting my stuff together. I said to the costumers, and I was like, do you think she'll come out of the room at all? She was like, I don't know. We're right in the middle of things.
Do you think for a second doing some kind of power move and being like, oh, look, you're in this too?
Not even for a second. Okay. I know we've just met, but power moves and me, zero overlap. But they were nice. They were like, oh, you can, we can introduce you if you want. And I was like, I don't know if you guys have ever had this where you meet somebody sort of in the wrong way. And then you're like, oh, I just ruined it. I should have just waited until it was a natural. So I was like, I don't want to do it because if this goes badly, I'll feel, and she's having a fitting. It's just not right. So I didn't do it, but I did get to meet Jane Fonda, it was right after the first so gross to think of now, but like after the first Republican debate, so the first debate where Trump was way back when, and she came in wanting to talk politics with everybody. Me, I was like, is she talking to me? She's like, yeah, what'd you think? Did you watch? I was like, I'm talking politics with Jane Fonda. It's crazy.
But they made it easy too, like, yeah, fuck them. I mean, it's not hard to.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't have to get into any like intricacies. I could just be like, they were terrible, right? All of them.
You're not talking about the housing department.
Exactly.
I want to take a big shit. Kenda, do me a favor and sum up Vincent for Sarah, if you please, this gentle friend that wrote us high and drunk.
Okay, so Vincent is a person who's been listening to the show and recently started writing. I think he wrote 2 or 3 emails at this point. Keith is probably going to update us from there. So far, what we know about him is he had a meth addiction. While on meth, he and his girlfriend were on meth. He hit her. He went to jail. He listened to us in jail.
He punched her in the face and cut off her hair with a knife.
Oh my Lord.
The hair cutting is the sick shit. If you ask me. Like that
takes a while.
Yeah.
It's like
yes. Then there was some kind of a second altercation, I think, and she threw hot oil on his dick because he was cooking naked. Wow. But when I asked about that, apparently it wasn't boiling hot, and also meth helps you get over the pain of your dick being on fire. So I think there are details that you're missing, but I do feel like you're generally caught up with Vincent.
Okay. Those are the high points or the low points.
Right. And he wrote his first email drunk and then was like, but I'm doing well now. I'm out of jail. I'm doing good. And I'm like, you won't know that you wrote this email. And then he followed up with sober-ish emails. Here's the latest. Might be the last one. The subject is know when to shut the fuck up.
Ooh. Usually he likes us, Sarah.
Right.
Just a little.
He might still. I can't tell. Keith and Kenda. And by the way, Kenda, you're so good at explaining crazy.
Okay. That sentence started off so good. I was like, ooh, what am I good at?
So Kenda's going to explain as we go along. Okay. I listened to last week on Keith and the Girl, the wrap-up show that we do, expecting to hear about my emails. I was not disappointed. My guy that tips Rod. Okay. His show is the black guy who tips. Is it a racial thing? Is he being funny? My guy that tips.
I think he's trying to be chummy.
Okay. What's up, Mang? And then parentheses, Mang, how Scarface says man. I probably shouldn't say my guy anyway. So also he sold his backspace key for meth, apparently. You could edit. I'm going to make this as short as possible. I'm not going to tell any more stories because if I do end up on Keith and the Girl on the wrap-up show, we said, hey, what if we do talk to him for literally 5-10 minutes? If I do end up, I don't want to repeat my stories. He's a professional. Okay. He's an artiste. If you can believe it, Keith, I am quite worse than your dad. Honest to God, then die. I mean, what the fuck? If I was invited to be on the show, I feel I wouldn't be able to tell my story or we wouldn't be able to get through it all in one episode. You stole stuff from meth and you punched your girlfriend in the face. I don't know. I think I follow. I think it's fast. I am and always have been, since my wife and I separated, a fucked up person. I'm so fucked up that both of you would tell me to cancel my subscription. Cancel that to continue paying for the subscription, but don't listen anymore or comment. If the episode I would be in didn't show my face or be on YouTube, I would agree to go through all the fucked up shit I did. I would have to be drunk, though. I'm not good at being put on the spot. I always think the correct reply after the moment has passed. Dude, this is an email. And you're like, I think I bugged up. I guess that's about it besides my reply. I do have an obsession with Hemda. Because for the first time I heard her name, I thought you all said Honda. That was funny to me. Then after hearing the shows, I heard Hemda spell her name and how every American can't pronounce it. So I repeatedly spelled out her name thinking I would get a shout out for spelling it right. I guess it's not a big deal because I have seen it on the website. But I want the girl to know that I listened to her spell it and kept it in my head thinking about it over and over so I would get it right. And I kept writing it down.
Oh, I love what men want credit for.
Yeah.
Hey, learned the spelling of your name, decided to show you several times because, if you read it once, you won't recognize with your little girl brain that I did it right. So can I get a thank you? Yes, Vincent.
Instead of creeping you the fuck out, he's writing your name down like he's in The Shining, but he's like, hello, see what I did? Also, Kemda has made me feel like shit so many times because I've done so many things she talked shit about, and I took it like she was talking directly to me. What could that be? I took it, was that song about T.I. about me? I took it as constructive criticism. I don't know if I'm using that correctly. When I say Kemda has helped me as far as counseling, it is because of all the fights she has gotten into or the view that she has.
Sarah, I'm a nice person, I promise.
Yeah, no, I've heard you. I'm aware.
Why so many fights, though, Sarah? You know what I mean? Let's be honest. A different point of view, not knowing me or my situation, or that she was even talking about my situation. That last part didn't really make sense, like any of my emails have. I believe this will be my last email unless I get invited back or asked for an update to elaborate. We'll continue to listen no matter how much y'all critique me. Keith and the Girl gets me through my 11 hours driving. Oh, thanks, buddy. That's good. Wanted to get this to y'all before y'all's next episode. Clicking send. That's a good one instead of folks. Maybe we go with y'all. Clicking send.
Oh, I love y'all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Clicking send, even though this time I do know better. Maybe I read too much into the episode last week on Keith and the Girl and the VIP. Scared for you all to actually invite me, but fuck it. Yeah, I'm scared too. Nothing. Oh, on episode 25. Do y'all know what episode your intro music started? Hey, oh yeah, so it's coming. Listen, I think it is cool. Y'all have the same intro music since episode 13. Well, I guess the number is 13 then. Anyway, that's the latest and probably the last of our buddy Vince.
Okay, here's what I want from Vincent. Are you listening? Get a pen, get a pad, or use the computer that doesn't have a delete button. Either way.
Write this word down. THERAPY. BETTERHELP.com/KATG. Right.
No, but if you can write bullet points of the things that you would want to say on the show in order to talk about your timeline, that would be helpful. So I don't know, 10, 20 things, whatever it is, just bullet point that thing, send it in, and then we can talk and we'll go through your bullet points. Then you know what to expect ahead of time. You don't have to be nervous in that moment. You said you think of the points after. We'll go slow, but you can have that information. This is what we're going to talk about, so you can plan ahead. How about that?
Love it.
I think that's very kind, Kemda.
Thank you, Sarah.
I mean, there's very easy instructions to follow there. Mm-hmm. If he chooses to.
Thank you.
Right. And by the way, this is a good time to bring up this, if you don't mind, Lucy Nicotine, a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers. If you want to switch from smoking, and you do. Come on, that stupid vape. You look like a piece of shit. Cigarettes. Come on, you know the deal with those. The dip. Forget about the. Okay, you're gonna have to be in the social circles again, right? Okay, come on.
I knew someone whose father used it and would spit into cups, and then one time he thought it was coffee, so he drank his dad's spit.
Everybody that does that chew has drinking their own chew.
Yeah,
I feel that's right. I feel that's accurate.
Well, how about a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine? Comes in 3 flavors: winter, cinnamon, pomegranate. Try not to like one. What the fuck is happening? 4 milligrams of nicotine in their cherry ice flavor lozenge. It tastes good. You're going to like it. It's 2021. Get your cigarettes out of your life. Unplug your vape. Come on. It's the real deal. Go to lucy.co. Use promo code KTG. Get 20% off all products in your first order. Gum, lozenges, whatever you see. Whatever you see there. Come on. Lucy.co. Promo code is KTG. Also, here's a disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. I'd like to think so. Good God. Nicotine, it's an addictive chemical, of course, but you know that. Lucy.co. Promo code is KTG. All right. Thank you. Speaking of my dad, I got a new email from my dad.
Congrats.
Now, can you explain to Sarah, my dad? I knew him for 46 years. Can you catch her up real quick?
Okay. Keith's dad used to be a Catholic priest, then was blessing the house of what ended up being his mom, he fell in love, left the priesthood, married her, had 5 children, abused them all, sort of subtly, but did not, like, it wasn't physical. It was just, like, that's the response to Keith's childhood, where if Keith didn't do anything, but his father was annoyed or he wanted to punish them, he would make them dig holes in the backyard. What kind of holes? Well, they would have to be 6 by 6, or depending on which child, 3 by 3, and depending on, I guess, which coffin he needed. That was very strange, these measurements. Anyway, they wouldn't get a measurement, but he would later go outside, see if they measured right, and if not, they have to start over.
And of course, we didn't measure right, because how could we?
Yes. Now, in addition to a lot of things being left in school for too long, when you live like far away, and
never
general neglect, and while being overbearing, and also the latest in this is that Keith catfished his father, pretending that he was his ex-wife. Excuse me. His father
not
reached
your
out,
mom.
Correct, my ex-wife, right?
Oh, your ex-wife.
His father reached out to Keith's ex-wife saying like, hey, what happened between you and Keith 2 years after their divorce? The ex-wife sent it to Keith. Keith said, is it okay if I pretend I'm you and answer him? He set up a new email, an entire year of talking to his father as if he was the ex-wife. And yes, the father did admit that his ex, right to him, made his libido jingle.
That's coming in my computer, Sarah. Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's me.
Yeah. That's just like a little bit. Like, there's already been an autobiography that Keith's dad is full of, and now there's going to be a new book from the dad emails the entire year of catfishing. I think you're caught up.
I just need like an hour to 3 hours to sit quietly and process this.
Right.
That's fair.
Whoa. In this paragraph, I need a couple hours.
But you know, Sarah, when I first met Keith, he said he had like a very normal upbringing. They were overprotective, and he didn't get to do much. And then as we podcast, the layers come off. And, you know, sometimes when you talk about your childhood and people's jaws are on the floor, then that's the only time you realize you were weird. Like, very.
I've had a couple of friends like that. One in particular, I won't tell his detailed stories, but would casually say things like that. Oh yeah, like my mom used to, you know, punish me by like cutting up my stuffed animals if I, you know, did something wrong. And you're like, like, ha ha ha, you know, how everybody's mom did. And you're like, no, not okay. But you don't know until you get out there in the world, the weirdnesses of your family. It just happens for different people, I think, at different times. Some people figure it out as a kid and some don't, you know?
Yeah, Kendall would be like, what did you talk to your parents about when you were a kid? And I'm like, what? Talk? What? You know? And she's like, that's a thing. I'm like, oh, okay. I had no idea. And so I did send an email that linked to keithandthegirl.com/dad, and it tells the whole story about what was going on in real time with my dad. I sent it to my siblings. I sent it to my dad. He knows I know because I'm showing the receipts. He's denying it. And then says, you know what? I'm never talking to you again. I'm like, no, I just said I'm not talking to you. What the fuck? I'm not talking to you.
Well, I broke up with you.
Right. So now he sends email. My mom has dementia. She's in a assisted living place now. And he won't give me the updates because we're not talking to each other. Now I get the updates because I have siblings. I get everything, but he'll write like, I know Keith's not interested in your mother. Anyway, here's the latest, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And right. Are you and your siblings pretty tight?
Very, yes.
That's nice.
Yeah. Here's the latest email that was forwarded to me, sent to everybody but me. COVID test came back negative. By the way, nobody asked. Okay, apparently took a COVID test. That's good news. My family doctor wanted me to get it because my symptoms mimic that of COVID. Again, you're not missing anything. The overdose of Repatha, and I looked it up, that's for high cholesterol, and COVID apparently have the same symptoms. I found some old, that's the end of that. I found some old government saving bonds that mom has gotten for you guys when she was working outside the home. I stumbled across them quite by accident.
That's such a weird statement.
What does that mean, Linda? You speak crazy, as we covered. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't, with your dad, it means the craziest version of that. I don't know what could it mean? Is he clearing out the house? He's leaving out information so that you can ask him.
Yes.
That's all. Like everything he does is, wait, what does that mean? You can ask me.
I knew nothing about them. Their current value is possible. Exactly. Like, just say how much they are if you want, right?
Yeah.
Their current value is probably 4 times the face amount showed on the bond due to compound interest and their age. What would each of you like to do with those made out to you? I want you to fuck them. I want you to eat them. What?
First of all,
he's
guessing that it's 4 times as much. I don't know where he's getting that. Also, is there a thing that he has to open? Also, I think he's telling you that your mother did things behind his back.
Yes. What would each of you like me to do with those made out to you? Ken, check with Keith on what he would like me to do with those made out to him. The end.
What are you going to do?
Nothing. I'm missing out on millions. What am I going to do? I'm missing out on millions. I assume he's going to be there, by the way, when I visit my mom. I'm not sure, but, I assume it'd be like, do you want to know about the bonds?
Is that what it is? Something he can like lord over you or entice you into a conversation?
He tried it with my mom. It's not working. You think bonds are going to work now? How much could it be? You think that's going to work now? Yeah, it's actually, always something like, ask me.
It could be, Keith.
What do you mean?
I think you should get the bonds. It could be a few $1,000s.
I doubt it. And anyway, okay, then I don't get them. What am I going to do?
No, just get them.
Okay. Give them to me, Dad. Should we talk about your show and the disparaging things you said? No, Dad, you thought you were talking to my ex-wife and you talked about getting a hard-on. Son, but how could that be a conversation? It can't be. I don't get the money. That's the end of it.
Okay, I'm going to propose a question to you. Ready?
Okay.
I've proposed this to other people who don't speak to their
and by the way, when my dad dies, we'll clean out the house. I'll find him. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I guess. He hates you so much. Why didn't he just rip it up? Oh, because then he can.
Yeah.
Right. Like Sarah said, lord it over you. Okay. You like the Gilmore Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Every Friday night, you have to have dinner with your dad.
Right.
And
but he pays for everything for the Gilmore Girls, right?
You get $1,000 a week to have dinner with your father every week on Friday night.
Okay.
Sarah, if you want to chime in, I don't know if you want to go.
Would I do it? No, I wouldn't do it.
Not for $1,000 a week.
No, and I respect money as much as words. No.
It is hard to do. Okay, $2,000 a week.
I see where you're going. Start a lot higher.
Okay, what would you rather? Blow a dude.
Okay, which I don't mind. We covered, folks and stuff.
But you do mind. That's not your thing.
No, it's not my thing. Okay. But I don't know. I'm very progressive. Do you know when I was dating that I checked trans also? I checked that box.
What I was saying is, would you cheat on your girlfriend? So I don't know where you went in your head.
Right.
He's trying to justify why he's gonna.
Right.
Like, wait, I'm changing right now. I'm changing.
Sorry, Kyle. I didn't even think about you for a second. It's very tense. I was tricked. I feel like I was tricked.
You're off the hook.
It was one of those like giving somebody enough rope type situations.
Yeah. Really? And it's videotaped. I don't know if that part means anything to me. What about your stepkids? Right. Oh, Wells. Is everybody vaccinated? Sarah Baker. Are you vaccinated?
100%. Yep.
Nice.
I'm fully cooked and everything.
All right. Good for you. A 76-year-old woman in India tested positive for COVID-19, woke up moments before her cremation. The woman was isolated at home when her condition worsened. The woman's family was transporting her to a local hospital when she fell unconscious. The family, assuming she died, returned home, prepared for a cremation. She started crying and opened her eyes moments before the family was planning to begin her cremation.
Keith is so obsessed with these stories.
Yes,
You're
it's
so
nuts.
obsessed.
It's insane. Sarah, I don't know if you thought of cremation or what you're going to do, but I say put my body in a room for 3 weeks with a bell.
Wait, are there a lot of these stories?
There's enough. There's easily.
You're right.
There's
5
multiple
is enough.
ones a year since we've been doing this show. So yes, this happens a lot. So
That's horrible.
It's I got a feeling he's dead.
I mean, let's first of all try to surround yourself with people who are savvy enough to like double check if you're dead before they start, preparing to set you on fire.
I'm gonna be arrested because like I'd be one of these guys in a funeral home, and I'd be like, all right, anybody looking? I'm gonna flick this guy in the balls, see if he twitches, and they're like, you're under arrest. Like, but what if?
Okay, here's the problem. If you die like this, Keith, it's going to be your fault. Let me explain. Okay. There was a time where Keith was honeymooning. Okay, he was on his honeymoon. Mm-hmm. He's in the waters of Hawaii and he's drowning.
Sorry, you're talking about my dad. You're talking about my dad's girlfriend?
You.
Right. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, right. Yes. It took me a second. Okay. He's drowning. His new wife is just right over there in earshot, all of that stuff. And he's like, oh, let me not disturb her. I won't say that I'm drowning. I'll just try to get out of it. Okay. Then
I think that is common.
Yeah.
It's like the people choking always die because they leave the room because they're like embarrassed.
Oh.
It's a thing.
Oh my God. Now this is a PSA. Thank you. Holy shit. Then he decides, okay, I'm going to die if I don't say something. And he's like, would you mind, okay, she didn't hear me. Hold on. If you have a moment, no, I'm drowning again. Hold on.
Oh God, this is horrifying.
Can you pass me the boogie? But nope, can't hear me. Now, if you're dead and you're about to go to an incinerator, Keith, do you think that you will have whatever it takes to say help?
Ooh. I don't want to put anybody out. You know what? We don't know until the time comes. I'd like to think so. What's going on, Sarah, with the world coming back together, you performing? What's it look like out there? What are you working on? Are you nervous about all the people thinking things are okay now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have very mixed feelings. All along, I felt like it's good that I'm staying home. I mean, as we all were, but because I feel like I'm the kind of person, I'm a fairly intelligent person, but I do feel like I'm a flaky person. So like, if you put me in a situation I've been in a million times before, like in a grocery store, I don't know if I'm the type of person that would be like, you're in a grocery store, but it's a pandemic. Like, don't touch anything. Don't touch your face. Don't once I'm in a familiar setting, I think I'm going to act the way I always did just because I forget, Right. And it's been interesting now getting out a little bit to be like, oh yeah, I think that would have been the case. I think I would have put myself in harm's way if I'd been like doing some of the normal things people had to do, like go to the grocery store and stuff. But working, I mean, I had to work, in the fall, things were really bad here. Yeah. And
over there.
Just here. Everywhere else, things were great.
And what do you mean by work? How did work look like in the fall?
I was working on the third final season of this Netflix show I'm on, the Kominsky Method, and so
I just started watching.
Oh, nice.
And it is now getting binged. I will be done with it in 24 hours.
I love it. Good.
We are talking about the second episode is a funeral scene. I was crying. I was so happy. I was like, huh, Jay Leno was hosting the funeral. And it's okay. Look, it sounds silly. It was brilliant. It was really just so good. It's just enough funny that you can get me just enough sad and I'm crying because it's real and the dialogue is fantastic. It's kind of curmudgeon-y older guys, but at the same time, it's like, oh, they're just talking like normal. They're not like, I'm an old man, I'm telling old man jokes. It's just them roasting each other. It's fantastic. I love it.
I'm so glad you like it.
It sounds like one of those shows where they, I definitely have to start it. you're crying or you're laughing rather, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna be crying soon. You're tricking
Love
me.
it. Yes,
it's like Alan Arkin.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you like it. Yeah, Alan Arkin, like who's better than that? And obviously Michael Douglas too, but Alan carries the weight in that funeral. And Jay Leno, by the way, I am not a stand-up. I've never done stand-up comedy. I've done like improv and sketch and stuff like that. Somehow or another, at lunch on set, it's like, you always want, like, if there's a guest on your set, you don't want them to feel like they're like sitting alone or whatever. Right. And Jay Leno was not the type of person to go like sit in his trailer and eat. So he came out and I just happened to be the only like actor around. So I was like, so we kind of walked out together. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to sit and have lunch with Jay Leno. This is so bizarre.
Does he ask you like the jaywalking kind of questions? Like,
no,
we all know the third president. Does this idiot Sarah know? It's like, right, on, Jay, exactly. Can we just eat?
Jay, I'm just trying to have some salad. But it was weird because usually there's so many other people around. I was like, oh, great, a one-on-one with me and Jay, because I get very nervous in those situations.
Sure.
But so we're talking, and he's very personable. It's fine, it's easy. He starts saying to me, "You ever done stand up?" I was like, "No. Not at all." I said, he's like, "Why not?" I was like, I like performing with a group. I don't like to be by myself. He starts, and this is no credit to me because I'm just being a normal person. He starts going into this monologue for 20 minutes about how he thinks I have what it takes to be a stand-up and that I should be a stand-up. It was the most bizarre thing of my life.
My doctor.
Have I done anything with that? No. Wait, what'd you say, Keith?
My doctor did that to me. Are you thinking about it now? I mean,
no, not at all.
The king, right?
Not I was like, Jay Leno.
She walked away. What an experience, and what a fucking idiot. No,
I just was like, you haven't seen me do anything. He was like, I can just tell your delivery and your whole attitude or something. I was like, and then it was super flattering, but I was also like, and I'm also not you. He was like, yeah, you fly into a show, you get there about a half an hour before the show, they pick you up, you have 10 minutes to kill, then you do your thing. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's how it works for new stand-ups.
He's like, and if you don't like your family, I do 400 shows a year. So it's really a good chance to get away.
And then did you have dessert with like Patti LaBelle and she told you that you should be a singer?
Right. And then the craft services guy is telling you.
Well, hey. They were both on the second episode.
Yeah. I fangirled out the hardest I've ever on anybody with Patti LaBelle because I'm obsessed with her. And I got it in my head, I have to get out of this day with a picture. But then instead of just being a normal person and like seeing how the day goes and finding like a good opportunity, I was like, no, I have to get it automatically or I'm not going to be able to relax. So I literally like went and found her and she was so lovely. And somebody else had already taken a picture with her. So I was like, okay, I'm going in. I have to. Got my picture. Calm down.
Nice.
So how do you approach that? Because if I'm doing that, I make sure my camera's ready, because I'm bad at I'm like, oh, just hold on, just my settings. I got to reverse this so we could selfie. Did you have it ready in your hand?
Oh, I had it ready. The producer, Al Higgins, my friend, was there. And I was like, this is what's going down. So he had my phone. He had it. Yeah. So I was like, you have to get a cohort. Even like we had Morgan Freeman on this past season. And now, because Michael Douglas, obviously I've worked with him for the past couple of years. So whenever somebody fancy comes to set, I just say to Michael, everybody wants their picture with him. And then he's like, okay. And then he like handles it for us.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that makes it easier for the famous person because it's like, I can feel you all want a picture with me. I don't mind. I already have makeup on. Let's get this over with. And now we can treat each other like normal human beings.
Exactly right.
And that's the best time to ask them, right? Because Linda just said they're wearing makeup. They look great.
Yeah. If I'm having a good hair day, please ask me for a photo with you. Right. If my hair is like all scrunched up in some kind of thing, and I just took off my bike helmet, I don't know. You know what? Say hi though.
I have some big news. Ready? Ariana Grande got married.
Ariana Grande?
Ariana Grande got married. Yeah.
God, you seem really touched by it.
This is something else. This is new. I mean, she just had a song out about all the fiancés she had, right? And she found love again. Yeah. And thank you this one, and thank you that one, and fuck you. And here's a new dude. Good for her. Fantastic. I wouldn't even know how old she was. I would assume she was older than she is. She's 27.
You can't tell by the lollipop constantly in her mouth.
Right. She's either 12 or 52.
I feel like I've reached the age where I just assume everybody is way younger than they are. So everybody's like 19 and then it's like, oh, 25. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
But it's amazing to be engaged twice in your 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Are you in a relationship, Sarah?
Yeah. I've been with my, partner, boyfriend, whatever word you want to use, since college. So a long time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys live together?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be great? No, we're still at our parents' house. We're waiting.
Can you imagine?
He's going to pop one of these days. Seconds.
I do feel like some older people do legit think like, oh, that poor girl. Like as if I'm like like I'm a bystander, like maybe he'll propose someday if I keep hanging in there, instead of thinking like, oh, they probably like made a decision about this.
How was COVID together?
It was good. I mean, it was not good. You know what I mean? But it was fine. We spent, as my friends said, they're like the sort of joined at the hips couples and the like barely see each other couples. And I mean, we do our own thing and obviously we both work, but we spend a lot of time together anyway. So I don't feel like it wasn't like too crazy. Not really. And I think, I don't know, for me, it was like such a terrifying time that it was nice to have that person to lean on. And I have a lot of single friends that had to weather it on their own. And I think that was really rough. So I was kind of grateful.
Look at this. You gonna have babies, huh?
Oh my God.
No, too much.
The
too
whole
much.
Face just threw up, right?
No.
Oh my goodness. Are you, Keith? Oh.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Who the fuck
what? You're like 100.
What?
That's enough. Also, that's enough out of you. You know?
Right.
Make the Malleys stop.
I don't need more.
No.
Right. Let me mention this, please. Follow Sarah online. Okay.
What?
Now she gets clever. It's Bara Saker online, right?
That's what happens when your name is Sarah Baker. Do you know how many Sarah Bakers there are in the world? A quadrillion.
Well, she did the math. It's true. She's not exaggerating. Yeah.
Sarah, it's very nice meeting you. Thank you so much.
Wait, did we cut you off? Guys. What was it like on set in the fall?
Oh no, it was just scary a little bit.
Was it normal? Did you have to take tests before you?
Oh yeah, I've tested 4 times a week because it was pre-vaccines. I think now would be a lot less scary. But we were at Warner Brothers, and I think when you're on the big studios, they just have their own rules, so it's kind of good because then everybody just sort of has to fall in line if you want to be there. So, but there were scares all the time, so it was like, oh, shut down, or like it'd be the morning and you'd be sitting in your little room for an hour and a half and you'd all of a sudden be like, why have I been sitting here so long? And then I was like, oh, there's a delay. And that would be like, somebody's tested positive and we're contact tracing and figuring it out.
Oh, so wow. That's a weird vibe. Wow.
Yeah. And we have, a lot of elderly people in our cast. So
right.
It was scary, but not, we got through it.
Do you remember your first time on set ever on a movie set or a series?
I mean, my first time on a set with my first time on a set was Sweet Home Alabama. I had one line.
Oh, wait, when was that?
I mean, it was a long time. It was like 2002, 2003, something like that.
What were you, 10? How old are you?
Easy. I was not 10, but yeah, no, I was young, but it was, and I was so clueless. I had no idea what was going on literally the entire time. I just didn't know, like, there's so many people and, You know, it's like it was a big movie. There's like hundreds of people there. I'm like, what are all these people doing? Like, I was clueless, and it was like Reese Witherspoon and
right. Are you ever amazed on set like how beautiful people can be?
Mm.
Like,
yeah,
you know, like
people's skin. A lot of times, I'm like, how do you have a skin like that?
You've earned it. Whatever you do, hey, and you connect. Okay, I figured this was enough.
Right.
You ever go out after work just because you have this makeup on that you just like, let's see what this makeup on looks over here at this bar? Or is it too much?
I always feel like it looks, I always like because I don't wear like foundation normally in life. And that part of it to me looks terrible in real life. So if anything, I'll like carefully wipe away everything and then just keep the eyes because they put like lashes and stuff on that I cannot do at home. So I'm like, but then you're like just kind of plain face with like twinkling lashes. I'm like, I probably look weird, but whatever.
I remember a friend worked on Young and the Restless or something like this and said, oh, the fake bartender didn't show up. Can you do this for me? And we'll just show your hands. I'm like, yeah, but they still gave me full makeup anyway. And after that, I was just taking a tour around the whole city. I'll see my dad now, you know. Yeah, this is some magic foundation they have over there. I loved it. I loved it. Sarah, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
What you got going on today?
I mean, not much. I'm going out of town. I have to fly on Friday, so.
Does that make you nervous?
A little bit.
Okay.
Should I not be?
Well, do you have a window seat? Crack the window a little bit.
Great. Yeah, keep the airflow. No, that's right. That's a good idea. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it. Follow Sarah. You love her. We do. And that's that.
And watch the show with me so that we can all talk about it.
Oh, yeah. It comes back on, like the third final season comes on, and I think May 28th, like a week and a half.
Excellent. Okay. I'm still on the first season, so it's not too late because it's Netflix.
Take your time. Yeah, no, it's like 6 or 8 episodes a season, so it goes pretty quick.
You're in, you're out. You get to talk to Chemda about it, and she gets to talk to you about it. Please watch all the things that I'm watching. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah. We'll talk to you guys next time.